Good morning, viewers. How are you guys this morning? I'm I'm just coughing. I'm like hacking up a lung, literally. Finally, like everything is breaking up and I'm starting to like have a lot of drainage. Yummy. But it's finally like loosening up, and then I'm just like coughing constantly. If you keep seeing me look over there, it's just Parker's taking a nap, so I'm just keeping an eye out. But anyway, I am at least like, I feel like I'm getting rid of whatever is going on though. And then this morning, he was staying in his bumbo and he sneezed and he just had like huge, it's disgusting, but huge strings of snot just like, I mean, blew out of his nose, which is good because it's obviously like he's getting rid of it all too. But it was really funny. But anyway, so I'm still not feeling myself, like 100%, you know, back to normal, but I'll get there. So I got Katie off to school and all of that, and so she's there. Tom's at work. He's already made the first phone call for our hopefully future change here. He should hear back today from the next person, and within the next couple days, hopefully we'll have some exciting news to share with you. So that's what's going on today for him, and I'm just staying home, gonna do my normal Monday laundry and clean up the house as best as I can. My house is a disaster because I've been sick for almost a week, so I haven't been able to clean it. So anyway, so I wanted to share something with you guys this morning, kind of open up to you, go a little bit deeper. And if you hear yard people working around outside, I'm sorry. I tried to like close up the house as best as possible without closing up all of the windows. But anyway, in like past vlogs, I've mentioned here and there that I either have a story or that, you know, I was married previously, or I've like mentioned it a little bit here and there. And obviously, if you already know me on a personal level, you already know my story and you know all of this about me. But, you know, there's even people that do know me personally that they know a little bit, but they don't know very much. So I thought that this morning I would open up a little bit and tell you a little bit about me and my journey. I'm going to try very hard to not get emotional or anything, but this is something that it's coming to that time of year, and while I'm still pretty like okay, not emotional, I figured I should talk about it now. And another reason is because it's November, and November kind of starts the journey of when my life changed. Let's go back to 2005. I was 19 years old, and I got married to the man that I planned on spending the rest of my life with. His name is Matthew Nathaniel, and he was literally like my dream come true man. He was in the Marine Corps, and he was a reservist. When we met, he was on active duty. We were together for a little under a year before we got married, and we were only together about 3 months before we got engaged. We just knew, like, with the night I met him, I knew he was the one, and he did the same. I believe that when God brings that person that's meant for you to you, you just know. He was perfect in every way, shape, or form. And fast forward, we get married August 6th, 2005, and again, him being in the military, he took me all the way across the country to Missouri. That's where his family lived, and he found a job there, and his recruiting station was just a few hours away. So once a month, he and I would go there, and he would do his duty for the weekend, and then the rest of the month, he would obviously have a civilian job. And there were a lot of bumps in the road along the way with his family. I wasn't what they had in mind for him. And, you know, but he fell in love with me. If you ever want to get truly like full on deep into my story, I have a blog, B-L-O-G, and it is called Waves in the Sea of Life. And it tells my story in depth. In in November, we spent obviously Thanksgiving together. That was the biggest holiday. That was the only holiday that we had ever spent together in person. And we went to his family's farm in Kentucky, and it was like the best holiday ever. Like, I got to meet all of his family. Look who decided to join us. Aw, this little man, the one who brings so much sunshine to my life. October and November, we had a lot of ups and downs. He hated confrontation. He always wanted to just like everyone to be happy and to please everyone. But you have to learn in life, you can't please everybody. Once you understand that, you yourself will just be a much happier person. So if you're living a life like that where you're trying to please everyone, I'm telling you right now, stop. As long as you are pleasing God, your husband or your wife, and your children, that's all that matters. Please yourself, like, be happy with who you are, accept yourself, and don't worry about everyone else, because it's not worth it. And if they can't love you for who you are, then they're just not worth being in your life. Fast forward to December. He and I had a wonderful trip planned to go home for Christmas, home meaning where I'm from, and see my family for the first time since I had moved away. Well, basically what it comes down to is in December, he died. I was a widow. At the age of 19, he worked for a company, I'll keep it nameless, and the machine that he worked on, he worked in a factory, it malfunctioned. The crazy thing is, it wasn't even his machine that night. Someone else had been working on that machine, and that man needed to step away to go get more supplies, and so he asked my husband if he wouldn't mind just watching the machine while he was going to get that stuff. Well, while that man was gone, that machine went off and needed to be changed, and so of course Matt needed to change it, and in doing so, the machine killed him. And looking back almost 10 years later, I'm so happy that that man is able to go home to his family every day. Sorry, I was not gonna do this. I'm glad that his wife still has him and that his children still have a dad. And granted, yes, that meant that I didn't have a husband anymore, but that's okay, because I know where he is. I know that I'll see him again someday, and I now have been given a second chance at having a family. So at the young age of 19, on December 13th, 2005, I became a widow. We'll lighten the mood by him being in the video with me. He died about between 1 and 3 in the morning. And I wasn't the one who was given a phone call and notified. I was called by his parents, who basically made it seem like it wasn't a big deal. And, that they'd come get me. And I swear to you, it probably was only like 10, 15 minutes. It felt like an eternity sitting at my house waiting for them to come pick me up to take me to the hospital. They took me to the hospital. Never once did I think, oh, my husband is dead. I was given the opportunity to go back and see him. And I mean, he looked like he was just sleeping. They had him covered to where I couldn't see the cut on his forehead that went from the middle of his head all the way to the back middle of his head. It cut the main artery on his brain, the piece that fell on him, hit him in the head and then fell on him. So it crushed his body, everything, and was completely alone. You might ask, but you had you had his family there. I did, but once again, I never felt fully accepted. I never felt that I was a part of their family. Therefore, I really truly felt alone. I had nobody. And of course, when you're sick or when you're sad or something, you get hurt, who's the one person that you want? You want your mom. And my mom wasn't there. 12 hours, I was making funeral arrangements. I had been given no time to fully understand, accept, register, any process, any word that you want to put in there, what was happening. And, so I was put in a situation where I didn't know what to do, and I had no one on my side to stand up for me and tell the people what I wanted. And so I made arrangements just with his family, his mom and dad sitting there telling me this is what we should do. You know, oh, let's bury him here in Missouri on common ground in a neutral place because, you know, that would be the easiest. Once again, nobody there to stand up for me and say, no, this is what she wants. Because if my mom had been there, my husband would be buried in California right now. Unfortunately, he's not. One day, that will be rectified. So, he died on a Tuesday. His viewing was on a Wednesday. His funeral was on a Thursday. I was forced to meet with a lawyer on Friday, and then I flew back to California on Saturday with all of my family. I wouldn't have got through those few days without those people. And so I then obviously had to go home, leave my home, leave my mat, and go to all my family and have to relive everything for the first time all over again because they were experiencing it all for the first time once they saw me. I ended up staying home until February. What's the matter? And then I decided it was time to go back to Missouri, to my home, because I needed to go back. I ended up living there for a little over a month and decided that I was not welcome. So I decided that going home was my best option because that's where I had support. That's where I had the people that loved me and were there for me. And fast forward to today, I have a wonderful husband of almost 8 years and 2 beautiful children. And I've been given a second chance at having a family. I was just reading an article that said not everything happens for a reason, that it's a bunch of crap, and that you don't tell that to people that are grieving, and it's not true. I beg to differ. I believe everything does happen for a reason, and maybe I believe that because I have faith. I have a faith in God that He has a plan for everyone's life, and that, you know, He never leaves us nor forsakes us. And though we may not always understand His plan or understand His reason for something, there is always something. My reason is this. This is the reason. I wouldn't have what I have if I hadn't lost the love of my life. Does that mean that I don't miss him and that I don't love him still and that I don't view him as my husband? No, I do. You know, it'll be 10 years, December 13th. And not a day goes by that I don't think about him, that I don't miss him, and long to hear his voice and see his face and touch him and hear his laugh. Oh my gosh, his laugh was just, it was the best. And his accent, I loved his country accent. But I've moved forward. I have the most amazing man in my life who has also had tragedy in his life, which is our common ground. That's what made us have a common bond. He understands me. He understands what I've gone through. Here we come up to 10 years. This is where you guys come in. I need suggestions. I would love to have a memorial service for him and like be at his grave and, you know, remember him. But obviously that's not going to happen because I'm all the way here in Hawaii and he's all the way in Missouri. So what would you do if you were planning, like if the 10-year anniversary of someone that you loved was coming up, of their death? What would you do? What is something that you could do that could help everyone around you that loved him and was a part of his life and our life to be involved around the country? I seriously would love some suggestions, either in the comments below or on our Facebook page. The reason why I'm talking to you about this now is because I have a little over a month to plan something. So that's why I wanted to talk about it today, so that hopefully I can get something together by next month. I wanted to share a little bit of my story. I will always love Matthew Nathaniel. He will always be my husband, and he will always be a part of my life and my husband's and my children's life. They will know who he is, and they will remember him too. And anyone out there who doesn't agree with that, who has a problem with that, that's something that you can deal with God, because I don't care. I don't care. And I am happy with who I am, with my relationship with Matt, with what we had, with something special that no one else could be a part of. And that's all that matters to me. For all of those out there who have been with me from day one, supported me, loved me, held me, watched me go through so many trials and stupid mistakes along the way, thank you for being there for me and for loving me no matter what. Because without you guys, I wouldn't be here today where I'm at. And so I love you all. Thank you for listening to this part of my journey. And I hope that it helps you get to know me just a little bit better. You guys, I feel so accomplished. I've gotten so much done. I mean, if you looked at my house, you'd probably think, what did you actually do? Okay, I think I had told you guys like a few days ago or maybe last week, clean up of clothes that I had, like a month's worth probably. And I just haven't wanted to do it because it's so hot in my closet. And so I have to stand in my closet and hang up everything. And then I got sick, so it has not been on priority of mine. But today I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna do it. Like, it needs to be done. And I still had a suitcase from our trip in Parker's room that had shoes in it. And so I went in there and I took the shoes out and everything. And so all the suitcases are all packed up and ready for Tom to put them back in the, the attic. And I've got a laundry in the washer, 2 loads to fold, and I just, I feel like crap, but I feel like I've gotten something done today. You guys, he's been doing that all day, up on his hands and knees, and he's starting to rock back and forth.
Hilarious.
Absolutely crazy.
Picture it expanding. Will it go beyond you?
He's just doing all this so fast, look at him. You guys, I honestly did not think he would be mobile so fast, but he really is.
No. It's fine, I can take it.
Mama. Hi viewers. Daddy got home. Yeah. Daddy got home. Daddy.
Local cutie. Too bad he's being a stinkhead. He's helping sister with her homework. He says, I was giving you a foot massage. Or eating a toe. Hey, be nice. Alright, get your foot out of his face. Chicken time, rather than some chicken thighs. That's what I grilled.
Daddy, what was the detail after I took a picture with Mickey?
I think he said first we saw Mickey Mouse, then the detail was we took a picture with him. Hey! Oh boy. Hi. Say hello everyone, I'm being a stinker. And I like to cry and whine and moan for no reason at all. Huh. It's dinner time. Just making cauliflower rice. Look up, buddy. Look up. Look up. Hey, up here. Okay. Oh boy. Yep. Oh, there's Lily. I'm sure Rena told you about our sausage thief. No? Okay, well, apparently this morning Rena made sausage for her and Katie to eat. And our cat has been known to jump up on counters and steal food. So Rena was sitting on the couch feeding. You were feeding him, right?
I think I was.
Yeah, well, either way, she was sitting on the couch with the bud, and she hears something, So she immediately like automatically assumed that Dot was up to no good. So she called Dot, and next thing she sees is Dot tearing around the corner with a with a full piece of sausage in her mouth, running down the hallway, and then you got Rena chasing after her, trying to get the sausage from her. Dot ended up going into our bathroom and leaving the sausage on the bathroom floor. I'm sorry, it's hilarious to think that we have a little sausage thief. It's so funny.
I'm glad you all think it's funny. It was my sausage that I used for breakfast.
She also does it with bacon too. We'll find pieces of bacon on the floor. Yeah, my cat's a silly one.
And just keep on doing weird things.
Hello, mister. I'm the milkman. The milkman. Milkman's the name and pooping's the game. The milkman.
I just love you doing that to
Hello. Hello everyone. It is that time. Dinner has been eaten. Baby is sleeping. Well, is he sleeping? Yeah.
Yeah, he's still eating.
Finally. Man, that little stinker was fighting. Just putting up a storm, putting up a huge fight, just whining and screaming. Then he took a bath. He did his usual little kicking and loves his bath time, and now he is passed out. And Caitlin is trying to sneak candy behind our backs, so she has been banned from eating candy for the rest of the day. So we were watching the Jimmy Kimmel YouTube thing where the parents tell their kids that they ate all the Halloween candy. It's hilarious. We should have done that to Caitlin. Although she has like 10 pounds of candy, so even if we did really do that, we would be so sick. So it's kind of unbelievable that we would eat that much candy. Huh.
But we are gonna go through it, and she's only getting I want to go through it tomorrow or
Yeah.
even tonight, and just get rid
Yeah.
of the rest of it.
So yeah, now, like in the news, everyone's been finding like candy with things put in it, and I hadn't heard anything about it happening by us, but I guess apparently just pretty much the next town over, some kids found some candy that had, what did you say, needles in it? It had needles in it, so unfortunately we live in a day and age now where we can't even trust the candy that we get from neighbors just down the street. You know, you gotta test it all, or make sure that no one's been screwing around with it. So, oh well.
Okay.
We will talk to you guys later. Good night.
Good night.
See you later.